I was inspired to actually be a good NES friend and make a video on how to actually beat a game, namely, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This one was a nightmare rental for me, one that I was drawn to and could never figure out as a kid. The manual was way too dense, the gameplay too confusing and uninteresting for my kid brain. This game was a thorn in my side until recently, when I decided it was time to see it through. This video won't be a full, long player playthrough, but will instead cover the need-to-know information to set you on the right path if you're also hoping to one day avenge this childhood nemesis. Let me know if you like this type of thing, and maybe it can become a series of its own down the road. I also want to say that what I'm going to show you in this video may not be the best way or the only way to do something, but it's just the way that I did it. If you know of an easier method, by all means, kindly let us know in the comments. Now I'm going to assume you have read the manual and understand the basic controls for scrolling your inventory and using items in this game. The big important thing you need to know going in is that this game is open world, and while there are many sub-goals in between, your main goal is to find and kill Judge Doom. To do that, you will need to find a number of different items, some of which will be used to distract or vanquish the occasional enemy, and others are needed just to get to the next area. Now here are the items you absolutely have to find to finish the game. The dynamite and the detonator for blowing up the wall to Toontown, the whistle for hailing Benny, your cab, the flashlight, the rattle, and the spring shoes for getting will pieces from the caves, a baseball for distracting the guard at Doom's warehouse near the end of the game, and 4 pieces of the will to get inside and face Judge Doom. The locations you will find items in the game are randomized each playthrough, which means that sometimes items are guarded by certain enemies that require particular items in order to distract them. For example, you might need cheese to distract a rat, fish bones to distract a cat, and meat to distract a dog. Or, in some cases when you play the game, you may not have to distract them because they're not protecting anything. It doesn't hurt to have bombs and cigars, as these are the only items that can really damage Doom besides your fist. And optional items here, the password and the rose, but these are for in-game hints, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, so I'm not going to show you how to use those or where to get them. Now, another note, everything that you can buy in the game, you can also just find out in the world. But to get started on your item list, the best place to get the dynamite is the store, and you'll want to do that quickly. You need wallets to buy things. So immediately walk outside, grab the wallet on the ground, look out for that plant, then go back in Valiant's office and grab a wallet out of the dresser. Then you can go back outside and get another wallet. It's magic. Just again, watch out for that plant and repeat until you have 9 wallets. The most you can carry of anything in this game is 9. Now go to the store. None of the buildings are marked from the outside. You just have to learn where things are. The store is immediately northeast of Valiant's office, so walk over to the dynamite once you're inside the store, make sure that wallet is selected, and press B, boom, dynamite. Now that those things are complete, the world really is your burrito. The area you are in initially is called Los Angeles. The map is split into 4 main regions: Los Angeles, North Los Angeles, then South Toontown, and then North Toontown. Each of these 4 areas contain a piece of the will, but you cannot freely go between each of the areas until you find certain items first. So you will find most of what you need here in Los Angeles. If you wait 75 seconds after you purchase the dynamite, you can walk back into the store and buy a whistle. You can also just find a whistle. And like I said, the inventory of the shop changes every 75 seconds, so if you miss an item, you have to wait 10 minutes before it cycles back through. That's why I encouraged you to get the dynamite as soon as possible, as it's the first item at the shop. Now once you have the whistle, by having it selected and then blowing it while in the street, you'll hail Benny, your cab. Press select to hop in. Now when in Benny, you can't be harmed by any other cars or snakes or weasels, but Roger can still be kidnapped. More on that in a bit. Now with Benny, move from building to building. The first thing you should do at every building that you stop at is to talk to anyone you see. If they say the building is empty, then you can trust them and leave. If they say they can't help you, that means it could go either way. Maybe there's something here, maybe there isn't. If they tell you that you should search the building, then by all means you should search the building. A building can only have 1 item, so if you do find something, whether it be inside or out on the sidewalk, then you can leave. Most items will be out in the open, and you don't have to search furniture for them. Items like the will pieces, whistles, bombs, and the spring shoes are always in the open. Some items are only found in furniture, like cheese, fish bones, and meat. and depending on where items are randomly spawned in the game, you may not need those items at all, but it will be apparent if you do, because you'll see the item being protected by either a rat, a cat, or a dog. Other items can either be in the open or in the furniture, which can slow down your search. If you talk to someone and they can't answer you, it's sometimes easier just to go find someone else to ask until you get an answer before you take the time to search all the furniture. Now, worth noting that sometimes you will not be able to walk into a building or back out to the street because a weasel wants to fight you. It's tough to get the hang of, but the best thing to do is charge up your strength by tapping B. Your strength meter will fill up, and then let go to sling a punch. A few charged up punches should send him flying. It's best to do this while moving. If you start charging your punch while standing still, then you're stuck in the mud. If you find the detonator and you have the dynamite, that means you're good to go to Toontown, but don't do that yet. Before we leave, we need to find a flashlight, a rattle, spring shoes, and a will piece. Now in Los Angeles, the will piece will either be in one of the buildings or in one of the 3 caves. So if you search all the buildings and you don't find that will piece, then you're going to need the rattle, the flashlight, and the spring shoes before searching the caves. Once you've searched every building and hopefully found those items, that is, the rattle, the flashlight, and the spring shoes, it's time to go spelunking. Now in Los Angeles, there's a cave in the southwest area and 2 over in the east. One's a little more to the northeast. Search each one. Now if you pop down and you can immediately see the snake and no will piece behind him, then you can just leave. It's not there. But oftentimes you'll pop into a bigger cave that requires you to actually explore it to see if it has the will or not. Use your flashlight to see in the cave. Use your spring shoes to hop over the chasm, and then use a rattle to distract the snake and take the will if it's there. Once you find the Los Angeles will, and again, you have your cave gear, hop in Benny and go northwest to go to the northern Los Angeles region, which is all caves and wilderness. You're going to want to look out for snakes. They can get Roger, and that's fine, but if they get Eddie, it's a lost life. And conversely, you got to watch out for birds. If they take Roger, it's also a lost life. These caves are a little tougher to find, and the only item you will find and need to find up here is a will piece. Then once you find it, now it's time to go to Toontown. Now, I said I would come back to this, and now's a good time. Roger is constantly in danger of being kidnapped by weasels. You'll hear a siren, and that's your signal that the nappers are coming. They're hard to avoid, and the only way to escape them is to make them laugh. You'll get a joke set up, and you have to find the right punchline, but you don't have much time to do it. I played this so much I ended up memorizing them, and most of them are easy to figure out, but there's just not much time, so you'll need to be fast. If you fail, you'll lose a life. Now for Toontown. Drive down to the brick wall at the tunnel in the south of Los Angeles. You don't have to have anything in particular selected. You just hop out of Benny and hit B, and if you have the detonator and the dynamite, it will explode the wall, and you can pass on through into the tunnel. Now you're in South Toontown, which in and of itself is split into a little upper and lower section. All that you need to find here in South Toontown is a baseball and one piece of the will. Here there are fewer people to talk to in Toontown, and the toons lurking around, which are mostly shoes, don't say much. The people who do talk very often don't know anything or can't help you, but you can always find someone else to talk to if you're patient. Sometimes going in and out of doors resets the people, and you might find someone who talks. The good thing about the baseball and the will piece is that they will not be inside furniture. You should easily see them. So if you're impatient about finding people to talk to, you can always just pop in and out of the rooms until you see what you need. Once you have scoured each building here in South Toontown, and you've collected the baseball and the 3rd will piece, you can head north to North Toontown. Here you will find the last will piece and the final boss, Judge Doom. But first, how about a little secret? You may find this on your own if you explore enough, trying to find these dastardly will pieces, but if you go up past the warehouse in the northeast, exit Benny and hoof it around the beach there, you'll find a magical house. 2, actually. To get there, you'll have to, again, go down and diagonal around and watch out for snakes, and by staying vertical, you can dodge the birds for the most part. And then once inside the magic house, any item that you use will not be taken from your inventory and will instead drop down from the ceiling for you to collect more of. If you're interested in having a little boost, I recommend getting cigars and bombs for Judge Doom if you don't have 9 of each already. However, I'm going to show you a method for beating him that might not require those at all, but if you want a little extra insurance, this is a good way to get it. Now, search all of the buildings up north for that last will piece. It's among the easier ones to locate since there are fewer buildings here. and that's the only thing you have to find. And once you have that fourth and last will piece, you're set for Judge Doom, who you can find in the biggest building up north. Distract the guard at the front by throwing a baseball and then walk inside. Judge Doom is waiting for you up on the top walkway. Now start charging up your punch while you're moving so that you kind of hop on one leg. Doom can't come to your side of the walkway, so this is a good chance to practice what I'm about to tell you. Press B rapidly to charge up your punch, and when the meter is full, start spacing out your presses a little bit rhythmic. This allows Eddie to continuously throw punches but not lose his charge. And if you get that rhythm locked in, and you get Doom against the wall, you can make quick work of him. Otherwise, this fight is one of the most drawn-out boss battles on the NES. A conservative way to go at him is to hop over and sneak in pot shots, but Doom causes a lot of damage if he hits you, and he punches fast and has no pattern. You can't stay close to him because he'll either charge in for a punch or he'll shoot eye knives at you. But if you can get him against the wall with those rhythmic power punches, you can work him down super quick. If you want to use those items, regardless of whether you use this punch method, you'll want to wait until the damage bar is pretty far along the word strength, maybe around the second T or H, as he becomes harder to punch when he's closer to the end of his health bar. You can walk up close to him and drop those items and trip him over and over, again with just the cigar and bomb. The rest of the items are not too helpful, and really these aren't either in the grand scheme of things. Again, pot-shotting him can take a long time, so I can't recommend getting this strat down enough. But even after he falls, you're not done. Once he falls off the platform, you have to go down, and then climb the ladder of the truck and pick up the dip cannon. You can see Doom is starting to twitch down there, and he's not dead yet. It is extremely important that you go ahead and make sure you have the dip cannon selected, because once you walk down these steps, he gets up quick and runs at you, and you won't have time to switch to it, and it's a one-hit kill if he gets you. Even if you do have it armed, he's still tricky. Walk down and to the right, quickly turn and fire by holding in B. I know you've been punching over and over with lots of button tapping, but this is a hold in the button situation. If you don't hold it down and spray him fast enough, again, you're a one-hit kill and you'll have to fight him all over again. So go down, turn to face him quickly, hold in B, and blast him away. Then, that's the game. And I think that covers everything you absolutely need to know to beat this game. So, good luck out there, and as always, look out for weasels. And thanks for watching.